Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about why I am no longer vegan. So I was vegan for 5 years. I became vegan November 30th, 2014. I have other videos to talk about more of my journey already on my channel that I'm just going to keep up. But today we're going to talk about the end of my journey and why I've decided to drop the label vegan. You guys have seen me struggle with this also before in past videos where I talked about the struggles of being vegan and why I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue using that label. And I said it really didn't bother me what you called me, if you wanted to call me vegan or not vegan, plant-based, and I just kind of left it at that. Now it's been a full year later, can no longer say that I am vegan. So this past year, me and my husband have been having money issues, so we didn't have time to save a lot of money. So yeah, this year was kind of rough when the money wasn't there. We were using donated food. And I'm not gonna be picky when somebody's giving me something that I am needing. In the beginning, I tried to give back the animal products and say that, can you give these to somebody else? Because I don't want them to go to waste. It got to the point where I was asking for food for help, but then I would be giving some back, meaning that I would get less, and I'd be hungry. Like, what's the point? Since last year, I have lost a lot of weight, but I'm not like underweight or anything, so it's not like I need to be eating this food to put on weight or anything like that. And you can be a fat vegan, you can be a skinny vegan, there's many different kinds of vegans, but I'm at the point where I can't be healthy while eating vegan. The amount of food you have to eat to be able to get your nutrition, and I'm not able to eat that amount of food in a day. So I've been under eating for the past year, maybe 2 years. I have a new family doctor, so she doesn't want to take my blood work every year to make sure I'm healthy. So because I have a new doctor now and money issues, things have changed. So the foods that I did try, I've had 2 packs of bacon. I've had 4 Kraft Dinner packets, and I've had 4 like mini chicken wings. Definitely not the first things I thought I would go to when not being vegan, but they were the first things that were there and available to me. Kraft Dinner obviously was donated. Bacon was cheap and we sought that out, and the chicken wings were gifted and donated, so they were free. Going out and eating this food isn't gonna cost us more. It's not like we're eating it all the time. It's not a regular part of my diet still, which I'll get into. Did eating any of that food upset me? Especially after being vegan for 5 years. You think it would. Yeah, it kinda did. But here's the way that it bothered me. It wasn't that, oh, an animal died for me to eat that food. That's not what bothered me, because I already knew that that had to happen. You know, I've watched the videos, I know the process of how food is made. It bothered me that it wasn't hunted meat. It bothered me that it was factory farm meat, that bacon I ate. Probably that chicken that I would. So on the topic of that, I would like to get my hunting license back, or renewed, or however it happens. I went through with the licensing back in 2014, 4 months before I went vegan. I had gotten my gun license and my hunting license, and I just had to finalize getting the game card so I could actually go out. So I gotta look into how all to do all that, but my family's gonna be happy about that because they have been hunting since I was a kid. That's something I've always been exposed to. So on that note, yeah, I never went vegan for ethical reasons. It was for environmental and health reasons. But I've learned about how the animals are treated. The ethical side of veganism I've learned about, and I know how to talk about that still. And if somebody doesn't understand it, I can be like, oh no, it actually makes sense. Like, here, let me explain it to you. But then they turn around and they're like, so then why do you eat the same stuff I eat, but you know this stuff? And the thing is, I'm not eating the same stuff that you're eating. And I'm not eating it as regularly, which also does matter. Ethically, it doesn't, because you can kill 1 person or kill 5 people, and I would still say you're a murderer. Like, it is what it is. I know I've done videos about hunting in the past, and my beliefs are still the same. I believe it's something that is not needed if you have enough plant-based food. But when you don't have enough plant-based food, and you don't have the money to get more plant-based food, or the environment if it's winter to even grow your own plant-based food, you have to do something. That's why I don't want to be a vegan anymore. And it doesn't bother me that I'm dropping the label now because I'm not seeing it as wasteful. Factory farming industry, that is really wasteful. But hunting, using up all that animal, how can I be against that? I'm still not, and I never have been this whole time I have been vegan. It's so much better than factory farming, but you don't have to do either, is the thing. You really don't have to do either, but if you have to do one, I would so much rather people get their own food and be self-sustainable, you know, than rely on factory farming and what it is today. So what am I eating now? I'm probably eating an animal product once a month. Definitely not excessively, because those 3 things I tried didn't really go well. When you've gone 5 years without animal products and you add those back in, it's gonna be different on your body. And I don't wanna push past that discomfort because I don't think you should. I think you should feel that discomfort. It's there for a reason. If you're gonna eat a food and it's gonna make you feel bloated, take note of that. Maybe consider what that food is and why it does that to you. And I do that with all foods. It shouldn't just be animal products. It's weird not being able to eat the things that I know I used to be able to eat and I used to be able to handle. I also cut those foods out a long time ago because of health reasons. And adding them back in now, I'm like, oh yeah, that reminds me. Eggs, for example, just make my stool bloody. Bloody stool. I don't know why. It makes me uncomfortable. So I'm obviously not going to continue to eat eggs because I don't want my body to go through that again. But even though I'm eating these things once a month and there's still so little, I cannot use that label vegan because for ethical reasons, that is not an ethical vegan. Vegans do not eat animal products here and there. That's not what a vegan is. I've been using the label plant-based for a very long time because when you're eating a plant-based diet, you can eat different amounts of animal products and still have that label as eating a plant-based diet. My diet is mostly plant-based. I would say I eat 90 to 80% of my diet, probably closer than 90, is plant-based. That little extra is an animal product once a month. And everybody's different with how often they eat it. I was talking to somebody I work with, they eat meat once a week. Great. Is that still 80% of your diet? I don't know. What percentage really am I eating? There's a lot of evidence-based research out there for a plant-based diet. I am not ignoring that. That is very sound research, and I am all for it. And I will continue to read studies that nutritionfacts.org, etc. posts so I can learn more, especially what I'm putting in my body. And you know, I might make adjustments in the future if I find out, okay, I really don't want to consume that anymore. Let's talk about vegan products for a second. The whole 5 years that I was vegan, I was trying so hard to purchase vegan products. I do try to buy the vegan shampoos, conditioners, body washes, soaps still. Especially once you've discovered a brand that you can afford and that is reasonable for your family. So there's certain things I will buy that are still plant-based and vegan, not animal tested. But if I can't find something, I'm not going to stress that much. I'm going to buy what I need, especially if I can't make it myself, and especially if that DIY recipe sucks, because there's no point in suffering. It's impractical that I was trying to use baking soda to wash my hair for who knows how long, and yeah, it didn't do good for my hair. You know, some people say, great, no poo challenge is great. I was ready to shave my head. In regards to Carol Baskin and why she's related to this video, it really bothered me after I watched Tiger King to find out that PETA is supporting Big Cat Rescue, and like, she might have maybe murdered her husband. I've had issues with PETA before. I had an argument with them a couple of years back about McDonald's fries. They had posted that Canadian McDonald's fries are not vegan. Well, that's not true, because if you go onto the Canadian McDonald's website, you read the ingredients, you look up in their search bar vegan, guess what comes up? They're vegan fries. The fact that PETA was saying they were not, and there's access to that information for everyone to get to, it bothered me. And it bothers me that they are supporting Carole Baskin. And you know, there's a lot of stuff that Carole has done that is questionable. So if you want to just see more, just go to bcrwatch.com. There's lots of stuff on there. But if you are more curious about Tiger King and Don Lewis, Jack Don Lewis, and what happened to him and his disappearance in August 1997, then I suggest you go check out the Don Lewis Cold Case Files Facebook group. It's private. You'll have to send a request to get in. But there's lots more information there if it's something you're really curious about. You'll find out things about her declawing her cats. You'll find receipts of her buying and selling animals back in the 90s, even though she was claiming that they were rescued. She claimed she didn't breed animals. She claimed she didn't do cub petting, which is all untrue. She's had lots of violations against animal welfare. And it just confuddles me how she can claim that she's so different than Joe Exotic's zoo that he had. Yet to me, as somebody who was vegan and who just stopped being vegan because of Carole Baskin, I don't see the difference. Because when I see a sanctuary, I'm thinking more of like the Lion Whisperer. I'm thinking of Kevin Richardson, you know? I'm not thinking of Carole Baskin and Big Cat Rescue because that does not scream sanctuary to me. It's fine that if you had a past of mistreating animals, but you need to talk about that. You can't pretend that you've actually been doing something good since the 90s when it continued into the 2000s. I guess this video was kind of sparked because of Tiger King. It bothered me seeing all the vegans talking about it and taking Big Cat Rescue's side, and they're not doing more research about her history. I was a vegan who did not support Carole Baskin. That doesn't mean I support Joe Exotic either. I think he's in jail for a reason. We shouldn't ignore Carole and how she's treating her animals just because she's calling it a sanctuary. My prediction is that Carole and Kenny had something to do with it. Whether he's under that septic tank, whether he's buried under a cement pad. I believe that Don Lewis is dead, and I believe Carole and Kenny had something to do with it. But that's all just, you know, my thoughts and opinions. And we won't know what happened for a while, but I cannot wait to find out, and I really hope we all find out eventually for the sake of Don Lewis's family. Fuck Carole Baskin.